It's Nana.
And it's Ngozi,
And welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to be talking about how old is too old to still be living at home with your parents. So me and Ngozi always have this argument. We go back and forth all the time. And living at home with your parents in our community is something that's very common. It's not a big deal. We have professionals who are making six figures that still living at home with their parents. Nobody judges you necessarily. No one really looks down on you. But as you start getting older, you start realizing, wow, am I going to be here forever? What if I never get married? What if I never meet anyone? Does that mean I'm going to live with mom or dad for the rest of my life? No. There comes to a point that you do want your space.
Okay? Yeah, I mean, and I always argue about that. She always makes it seem like it's a money thing. Trust me, I do
money
believe that money is a factor.
I think money is the number one reason why millennials nowadays are living with their family.
Even she said people making six figures. I don't think money is number one. I think number one is culture. Like I said, especially as a woman.
I think it's money then culture.
Especially as a woman, is a lot of people look down on women who are living by not like American people, because that's not a big deal, but like a lot of like foreign people, like people who their parents were born somewhere else. It's like a woman living by herself is like, it's not looked well. It's not looked at well. So like she's like fat, she's promiscuous, she wants to live by herself and sleep around. So they look at it like it's negative, which is just a stupid way of thinking, but that's how a lot of people think of it. My cousin came to my house like last year, and my aunt was here from Nigeria, and her sister moved to live by herself a couple years ago. And the first thing my aunt told her was, "Oh, you live with your mom? That's good. Stay here. Don't be like your sister." And like that's the first thing she walked in the door. That's the first thing she tells her. Like that's how they really think. Mind you, the same people will be in Nigeria, but they don't really live with their children. Like, you know, it's a different. I guess it's different because in America you have a house and like it's like so much. It's not necessarily so much, but I guess because things are just so expensive here.
And that's what I said. That's why I feel like number one is money. Then I give you culture, because money. This is how people. I've been living at home in my career for almost 3 years. Yeah, it's getting there. But the rationale we look at is that why pay all these bills when I can use even a fourth of their money, give it to my mother or father, and help them out, and they will value. It's also
culture part.
But that's also it is paying your dues, right? Because you know in certain cultures, your parents help you, then you help them. You know what I mean? So like your parent help you with school or doing all that's an investment. That's an investment in the child. I don't necessarily believe that my child, when I grow up and I have children, I don't think that even if I pay the undergrad cash, I don't feel like they owe me anything. I don't think they have to help me pay bills. I don't necessarily view it like that. But I think it makes sense because, especially if you're a single parent, you know your parent can use that money, and then instead you take that money and go pay for all your own bills, when you could take half, even a third of that.
Yeah, but you're living with your parents, you're not living by yourself. You don't have your privacy. You don't have the noise reduction. Of course, you're looking at the financial benefit, but there's a lot of things you're losing by living with your family.
Of course.
Like you don't have that same experience.
But you guys have an argument all the time. I'm getting really close to living by myself. I'm not saying is living by yourself is bad, but I feel like people overrate living alone. Like I know so many people that live alone, they have roommates. They live alone 1 year, the next year they're back at their parents. They live alone, they're broke as hell. They live alone, they have no savings. So I feel like I'd rather be in my mother's house. I'd rather be in my mother's house. Listen, I know everything has a time. I'd rather be in my mother's house and be able to, and have savings. I'd rather be in my mother's house and be able to travel. I'd rather be in my mother's house and actually have a decent quality life. Like I don't want to live by myself and be struggling. Yes, it's a part of life. Yes, it's a part. At a point you have
money
to grow
management.
Up. Exactly, it's money management. Of course, that's why I do think I'm ready. You know, I'm at a point that I definitely am ready. But I feel like it shouldn't be like a competition. You shouldn't feel bad that you live with your family. I don't feel like you should feel bad, but I do think it's weird. Like for people I've seen in their career, like 10 years to live with their parents. It's like, come on, bro. What are you saving? Yeah, like comes to a point.
How much money were you saving?
In 10 years, you've been living with your parents. You haven't saved the money you want to save. So I think it's money. Right, most people, millennials, I think it's money. Second, I would say culture, and number 3, I would say comfort. I think there's some people that are just comfortable living with their family. Like they don't want to live alone. They don't want to. They don't want to live by themselves. A lot of people don't like living by themselves. A lot of people don't like being by themselves. You know what I mean? Some people look at me like I'm weird when I say I want to live by myself. You want to live all by yourself. My mom thinks it's strange. She's like, why would you even not want to?
I said it at work one time. It was my little Nigerian co-worker. We have the same name. Her name was Ngozi too. And I was like, something. Oh, I can't wait till I can live by myself. She's like, wait, your mother lives in New Jersey? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why would you want to live by yourself? I was like, why wouldn't I? And she's like, wow, that's strange to me. When I was going to school, I always wished my parents in America I could live with them.
Exactly.
I would have saved so much money.
Exactly.
Like, it's also, it definitely is a cultural thing. The way we think, she's like, wow, like, so you want to live by yourself? You want to move to another state and live by yourself? Like, she was like, look, like, she was really asking me, like to her it was like, weird.
Weird, yeah.
Like, you want to live by yourself and then move somewhere far and then live by yourself? Like, are you sure? She was like, wow, like, and that's why I always try to make an argument. Like hers, is a little different. She started working. She's been in her career a few years. I'm just finishing up school. So I always like was even when I was living at home, even when I was in school, I remember after my first year, I was literally seriously looking for apartments like on Zillow and apartments.com. Like
really
I was really ready to. I just number one was studying. I don't like studying outside my house. That's my number. I don't like going to libraries. I feel dirty. I don't like using public bathrooms. Yeah, so I want to be able to go from morning to night. I can hold my pee for 12 hours.
Just squat.
It's not good. I used to go to work and I used about for 8 hours. I found a clean bathroom in my job that I go to. The only bathroom I would use in that hospital. So I don't like being outside. I don't like studying outside. I don't like because I don't like using public bathrooms.
Were you really serious about moving? You really looked at?
I looked at so many apartments, and also the apartment just thinks that it's not necessarily money. It could be money depending on how you want to live by yourself.
Exactly. I want to live by myself and be by myself.
And you want to live in a nice place.
Exactly. Thank you.
Because there's people who live in houses that are not in a good area. So why can't you go move in a roommate and live in the same not good area and split bills? It won't be that expensive. I know me, like I said, when I was looking for places after my first year, the apartments I saw were literally my mother's mortgage. I thought about how hard I'd have to work, how much loans I would have to take out on top of what I'm taking out. I would literally be taking an extra like $50K in loans to pay for housing for like 3 years. So to me, it was like, okay, I'm like, let me just suck it up. I'm in school. Let me make that sacrifice so when I'm out of school, I can live by myself. That's a sacrifice I had to make because I was ready. Like, I had to make my schedule around people I'm living with. Nana's not really bad because she's always in her room and she's quiet.
I'm about to say that. I stay in my room. They always complain. My mother complains.
It's my mother saying it. WhatsApp. In the morning, prayer line, 10 p.m. TV blasted. I'm not like my sister's a little more sensitive. I'm not really that light of a sleeper, but I needed to be quiet for me to fall asleep. That's the difference. If you're making noise and I'm already sleeping.
I'm so really sorry to cut you off. So if this house, 3-bedroom house, just me and you, do you still think you'd want to move?
No, I would be like, no. Then there's my younger brother who my mother's always yelling at because he's doing something stupid. So it's always the noise. It's just my biggest thing, number one reason to want to live by myself is noise. I'm not saying I'll have apartment is gonna be quiet.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the thing about rush. Don't rush a move either. You have to really do your research. Read the reviews. Read what people say because there's apartments you'll live in. You'll be hearing the next door.
I'm not saying because I live by myself, I'm not gonna hear noise. I'm just saying, but the noise is not gonna be physically in my room. It's not going to be in my house. Like right now, my mother's on the phone.
But imagine you paying rent of $1,500 to be hearing any type of noise.
If my mother's on the phone in the living room, I hear her. Like it's on speaker. Like number one reason I don't want to hear anybody's noise by my own. Number two, it's not even just the privacy. You just want to live your way you want to live. When you're living with people, I'm very irritable.
At least you know.
So I can go in the bathroom and I see the way my brother put the floss and it bothers me. Like, why did you put the floss like this? Why didn't you put it in this place where we always put it? Why is the toothpaste open? Why is this? Why is the kitchen like this? Sharing a bathroom with some shower. It does get tiring. It gets tiring. Like I've made the sacrifice. I'm not a baby. I'm not 22. I'm not 19. I've made the sacrifice. I've tried. For me to even stay here this long, I've tried. I've done my due diligence. I don't think anything is wrong. Like I said, I think at least 1 year. I'm not saying to go live by yourself. People have been living by themselves since they were in the 23, 24.
18.
But at least I want to have at least 1 year, not with a man, not with my family. I'm living by myself. At least 1 year to have that experience, decorate my house the way I want to, pull out the carpet if I don't like it. I hate carpet. My mother won't let me pull it out of my room.
You can't really design someone's house the way you want.
You can't do things the way you want.
Even if it's your father's house. Your father's house is not your house.
It's not yours.
Your mother's house is not your house.
You're just managing there. You're just accepting what they can give you and being grateful for the time being. But it's not mine. If I come to my house, I can say you can't wear shoes past the doorway. You have to put your shoes down, and no one can do it. I can try to implement that at my house. My mother comes into my house with her sandals on. It's her house. I can't tell her that she can't go into my room with her sandals on. So like I feel as if just having that control to be able to do things the way you want, organize things you want. Now just so many annoying things.
I can say for me, I think the reason why I've been home like almost 3 years is because first and foremost, my brother was away for school like for 1.5 years. So that's like I didn't have to like babysit and do all this to worry about what he's doing. My mom was working a lot and Nguzzi's in school. So basically it's almost like I was like most of the time I feel like it's just like me and Nguzzi in the house. You know what I mean? We get on each other because it can be annoying, but I give space. I know how to give my space. I'm not loud. I'm not obnoxious. I'm very sensitive to other people because I know I don't like noise. So I'm not going to go around and be speaking on speakerphone at 11 p.m. You know what I mean? When someone next to me is trying to sleep. Like, you know, because I know if someone did that, I would want to slap them. But for me, I just feel as if, like, me living at home, I got to do a lot of things that I don't think I'd be able to do if I have an apartment while still just working one full-time job. Like, I feel like if I wanted to live the same life I live and live on my own, I would have to work a lot. And nothing's necessarily wrong with that, but the advantage of living at home is that, like, what I was helping out in the house, let's say even in a month, like $500 a month, I know I cannot get any apartment in this area with that money, even with a roommate. And I don't want a roommate. That's another issue. I feel like, why am I gonna leave my house with roommates to go live with roommates
and pay more?
I understand why some people do it because I have friends and people I know that their house is not comfortable. They don't even have their own room.
Or so they may have a big family. Where there's a lot of people
so it's
in
still
house.
better to have a roommate, but I don't have. I have my own room. So why would I leave my own house with my own room and I basically feel like I have roommates to go pay and live with roommates? No, I want to live by myself. And with the area we live in, it's very, very expensive for a nice one-bedroom apartment. Perfectly, I want to live in a luxury apartment. Like, there's so many things. Like, there's so many amenities. I want I want an apartment with a gym. I don't have to worry about driving to the gym. I could just go work out real quick. There's so many things. Not necessarily luxury, but I want like a little bit of a modern apartment. You know what I mean? And this area is very, very expensive. So there's so many. I just feel like there's advantages and disadvantages to both. But I do think there does come a time. It's like, what? Like, are you gonna stay home forever?
Like, this time, like, it's about like I'm itching. Like, oh, I can't wait. Of course, it's gonna be a big transition. I'm not used to paying bills. I'm not used to doing all these things.
Not even one bill.
So
these
like,
people
you know,
think, that's what I'm saying. These
I
people
know it's
that
not easy. That's why I've been making my sacrifices.
I feel like these people that are talking to,
now.
like this one here, like, I feel like it's easier to say because you don't. Like, you're living like in paradise almost. Like, you're living in a house, you don't pay no bill besides your own personal, like, gas, you know what I mean, travel. But, like, even just living at home and paying the 2 bills I pay, like, I still be thinking, like, damn, imagine if I was living somewhere I didn't have to pay that $500-$600, how much more money I would have. You get what I'm saying? So, like, imagine going from paying nothing to paying rent.
Of course.
Paying
but
car insurance,
like you
paying
said,
phone bill.
To me, at this point in my life, it's more important for me to have my own space and to travel. It's more important for me. It's about a sacrifice. A lot of people stay at home so they can live a fake life that they can't really afford, but because they have free rent or discounted rent, they can afford it. That's the difference too. Are you going to give up that lifestyle? Are you going to give up those bags, those shoes to have your apartment, or to you, it's more important to have a nice car and live with your mom?
Exactly.
It depends on what you value.
To
me, it's more important for me to have my old car and have my own apartment. That's me. Is some people, just people push arrangements in their parents' house, and that's to them. That's what they value. To them, it just may not bother them that much. They may be in the house that's very comfortable. They may have a really big house.
So, yeah, I'm saying too that some people live in houses that don't even pay a dime, and there's some people that basically pay more than they would paying alone, living alone. So it kind of doesn't make sense. Like, why don't you have your own apartment? You're helping out your parents. You're giving them $1,500 every month. Or like
I think the comfort part is big, like you said. Like, I feel like I'm used to buying groceries. My mother does buy groceries, of course, but I'm used to, like, there's some people in the house that don't even grocery shop.
Exactly.
Like, they don't do anything.
They come in their house, everything, they just go get food from the fridge.
Unless they're trying to do a diet or something, they have to buy their healthy stuff, because, you know, most Nigerian people, they don't.
So you don't think any aspect of you living alone has to do with dating or anything like that?
We don't always argue about this. I do not think if I lived in the same location, the same exact town where I am right now, if I lived by myself, I do not think my dating life would be any different. I have friends who live in my same town. Dating life is trash. I think it comes down to your environment.
So you think someone is wrong, a man or a woman, if they decide they want to live alone because they feel like it might help them be able to have a serious relationship?
I think it can help. I don't think that's I don't have a father. I don't have a strict African dad I have to answer to. Like, I think for some people it could be part of the equation, but I don't think my reasoning is because my mom's not even, she's at work. Like, she's not even like a part of it. Like, I wouldn't be afraid to leave at 11.
Why not be a man? Because you may not want me to know where you're going. You may not want to.
But you need to know where I'm going. I can say I'm going out.
But I still, okay, for example, right? Like, you know, when you're like an older sibling, you're supposed to set an example, right? So we're older than our brother. Me running around every weekend and disappearing and coming back, is that me setting a good example?
It's not disappearing. If you're dating someone, you bring that person here, and your brother can know who you're dating, your mother can know who you're dating.
But what if I'm not ready? This is how I feel as if, like, this doesn't apply to me because I haven't met no one. I'm not saying this to my kids, but I don't think it's fair to ignore the fact that I do think living at home can implicate some
things.
It can. Because right now, I might meet someone that I don't even want none of y'all to know about, hasn't even reached that level. I don't want y'all to even know who he is. But because I live at home, Ahm's gonna see, oh, where's Nana going? And Gus is gonna see, oh, who you with today? My mother's even, I may not even want y'all to know what I'm doing.
And I
may not even want y'all to know who I'm talking to. So that's the reason why some girls, I'm not saying this is me, but some girls want to live by themselves. It's not necessarily to go around or
you may be dating a guy in another country, he wants to come visit you, and then you live with your family. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm not saying, or another state, and not even another country. Your man may be in Texas, and when he comes around, but that's still more money. So let's be real. Like, people don't have money like that. So I definitely do understand that. Because even if he comes here and he gets to a hotel, you still have to tell someone where you're going, right? You're still sleeping over. You're still not there. So it's still different. I understand that point, but I'm saying for me, I don't think that's a factor. It may be like maybe 5%. I don't think it's my major factor for my life. It's environment. It's so many other things besides, oh, I live by myself. I don't think, because I was dating comfortably in my house. Like, I could easily go on dates. I could just be like, my mother asked me, oh God, I'm going out. Like, I wouldn't even answer her. Like, I'm how old am I? I'm not a baby. So I don't think for me that's a reason. I could see for some people why that it could be a reason, of course.
Do you think, would you date a guy that's 33, 34? Let's say a guy like 5 is in his early 30s that's still living with his parents?
No.
Why? Because you live with your parents?
But that's what I'm saying. One person has to have their own place. I can't live at home.
What if you have your own place?
No, I think it's still weird.
Why? Why is it weird?
Because for a man, he could have money, but I'm saying for a man, you're supposed to be a provider, right? So I feel like if you're still living under your parents' roof, it's like, how could you really provide for your girl or your family or your girl? Like, how could you really? I feel like it's almost like I know it's a double standard, but some double standards work for us and for against the same way men can do this and they don't get judged and we do it and they judge us. I just feel like as a man, you're supposed to live by yourself. You're not supposed to be living with your family, at least not in the 30-something. Maybe in your 20s, mid-20s, trying to get yourself together, but I don't think a 33, 34-year man should still be living with his mom and dad. Like, I feel like that's weird.
Even if he's doing really, really good.
Yes, that's weird. You do really good and get an apartment. I feel like that's weird. Like, why are you living with your family? I feel like that's weird. Like, how do you date? Like, how do you do one thing?
But guys have it easier in a way because most guys can bring a girl around. No one's gonna check them.
That's true.
So they can bring the girl. Can even be sleeping over the parents' house.
I feel comfortable seeing someone's mom and dad.
Every time I want to see you, I have to go to your house.
I couldn't. Nah, you have to have a place. That's like standard. I'm not saying it has to be.
I've had guys tell me that they like the fact that I live at home.
Who made that tweet? It was
Naira Marley.
It wasn't Naira Marley.
I think it was Azalta.
No, I think Zalta. It was one of these Nigerian artists. It wasn't.
I've had a guy tell me he liked the fact that I live at home because that means I can't be running around. So like what our mom and what my aunt is saying, like you're making it seem like it's totally not valid. It does have some validity to it because literally this is what guys are saying. That he said that he liked how I live at home because that means I'm a little bit more controlled. And it is true. I can't just, even if I live at home, even though I'm in my late 20s, whatever, there's a difference. I cannot move the way I want. Anything I do, someone's watching me. Anything I do, whether it's Ngozi watching me, whether it's my brother watching me, whether it's my mother's watching me, I can't just get up here. I can't get up and just say, oh, I'm gonna go to Dubai for a week. I can go, but they have to know where I'm going, who I'm going with. If I live by myself, I could be traveling once a month. No one has to know where I'm traveling to. Literally, unless I post a picture and Ngozi sees it, Ngozi won't even know I travel. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't compare it. When you live at home, you have people like kind of like shelter you in a good way, like protecting you. And you know, and I've had a guy tell me he lived in New York. I met him like on some app or something. That was such a joke. He lived in New York and he told me he can't talk to me because I live at home with my parents. So I've seen it from two angles, and he was like, okay, you live at home with your parents. He's Nigerian. He knows Nigerian. He knows what it is. He's like, how are we gonna be seeing each other? How are we gonna be like, you're not gonna be able to come up here and be sleeping over? Like, I know how it is. Like, I don't want to date a girl who lives with her parents in another state. I think if I lived in New York, it would be different. But he was like, I don't want to live because I can't come to your house, and you can't just come and do what you want in my house. So like, what's the point of us talking? Well, I was like, that's interesting. So I'm getting dismissed because I live with my parents. So I don't know. I don't think there's how old is too old. I don't think there should be an age to it, but I do think that I personally agree that I feel as if everyone should live by themselves, like at least like a year.
And what a point I'm trying to make is that I'm not saying money can't be a factor, but you can't say that sometimes people use money as an excuse.
Of course.
As a reason, because money's always going to be a factor. I can say I'm going to live where I'm going to live for the rest of life because I don't have money. I will save money living with her even when I'm 40. I can bring my husband into our house and say it's because of money.
Right.
So it comes to a point that you can't keep screaming money. What are you willing to sacrifice? It's all about sacrifice as well. You may have to sacrifice other things, even sacrifice your comfort. Sacrifice certain things so that you can have your own
sacrifice
space.
even have a roommate.
Yeah, it may be a sacrifice. I think
But for me, I don't think I can go.
I can't leave my house to go live with someone else. Like I know my personality. It's gonna be hell on the mountaintop. Like I can't live with somebody. Like I really can't. I feel like even if I'm related, I feel like it's even worse if we know each other.
Yeah,
I feel like it may even better if you're random.
I heard it mess up a lot of friendships.
I can't live with somebody. I know my personality. I need to live by myself, solo, myself, O2, one person, like by myself. I can't live with someone else. But it's not I don't think I was able to have a lot of experiences too living at home. I was able to save a lot of money. Even though I'm not working in my career, I would have had more debt if I lived by myself. You know, I know a lot of people live by themselves going to school, and I could just feel for them.
I see people live by themselves. I had a girl I met in church when she lived in New York. She's like, don't let people don't believe the hype. Like she's like, before I order Chinese food, I have to go through 5 different Chinese magazines, see which food is the cheapest. Everything's on my credit card. I just feel like I don't want that life. Like I don't want to just say I'm living by myself, just say I'm living by myself, but I'm so uncomfortable and so stressed out.
Yeah, but you could do it the right way. People don't do it the right way. First off, if you're moving, you need to plan. It's not something you wake up tomorrow and say you're moving. You have to move somewhere that's actually reasonably priced you can afford.
Exactly.
Not you can afford first month, but can you afford 12 months? Can you afford to pay that rent every month?
You
need to move to somewhere that's affordable. Same way there's a reason why people come from up north and they go down south. Like you have to go to places where you can afford. There's so many factors. Living by yourself is just not the issue by itself. People can live by themselves and be spending the same as they are living with their family, paying for bills. With a roommate, at least. It just depends. Where are you moving to? What is your rent? What type of lifestyle you're gonna move and live in? Like people you can't be moving and still want to live the same life you're living in your mom's house when you were paying minimal bills. It's not possible unless you're gonna work more, get a better job. It's not possible. So I think it comes down to sacrifices. Yes. And like I said, to me personally, and this is number one thing is money. I say it again. I think number one is culture. Money is a close second runner up, but I think number one reason why a lot of people live at home is culture. I think the culture just encourages it. I have a lot of Indian,
a lot of culture, not even just foreigners. The culture not now, millennials. Period. But what I'm saying, I think it's money. A lot of millennials are coming back to live at home because of student debt, because of money. Like you understand? Back in the day, this was not normal. This was not normal back 30, 40 years ago. It was not normal if you go to college and come back to your parents' house.
For an American, yeah, that's different. But I know a lot of Americans are still living by themselves. Even with all this, who have a lot of debt because their culture is weird to go live with your parents.
That's true.
So I think number one thing is the culture. If I had the same student debt and I wasn't Nigerian and I was maybe I think I would be living by myself. Even in school, even just I have friends who said they live where I live. If their school was still as close to their house, even within the same state as their parents, they would still live by themselves. That's the culture. It's not an American culture. It's Northeast culture. The culture is different within every state of America has their own culture. Is different. So same way, maybe girls who are in school, who are in freaking Florida, because for the most part the cost of living is cheaper, they would probably live by themselves. So I think it just depends. We're in the Northeast region, besides like California, we're like
people
the most expensive
roommates.
Yeah,
people have like 3.
Other than California, we're in like the most expensive part of America. So it's like the cost of living here is not the average cost of living in America. There's so many other states where things cost way less. You can work, people work jobs, part-time jobs in college and pay their rent. And they're not working full time. They're working 10 hours a week because they maybe $10 an hour. Rent is like $300-$400.
I'm kind of picky about apartment too. Like I want to just live in India. Like I'm not that picky. I have friends' apartments I really like. I just want it to be like I don't want it to be like an old I don't know.
Exterior.
Yeah, like interior. I don't want old appliances and like old no. It could be an old building, but it needs to be remodeled.
You see the rent they'll be telling you.
Yeah, and it needs to be like remodeled. Like I want that. It doesn't have to be luxury, but I want to like be comparable to where I came from. You know what I mean?
Like I said, my standard is a little high because my house is decent. So I'm not gonna go move to the hood. I'm not gonna go move in an urban environment. I'm not gonna go live somewhere that's like really uncomfortable to me because I have a comfortable house. So why would I leave my comfortable house to go somewhere that's less than where I am? Why would I leave my house to go live in a rough environment? Because honestly, to get cheaper rent, for the most part, you have to live somewhere that's not that safe. So I don't want to live there. You know what I mean? So that's like I said, it's more than money sometimes. Money is the excuse we always give. Money and time. Those are two, they're valid because time is limited and money is limited. But those are the two excuses. Same way someone say, I don't have time to work out to be on Instagram an hour a day. That's a workout. So you can't just say it's time. You can't just, people, I don't have money, but I spend money on other dumb stuff. It's not just time and money. It's number one, it's the interest. Some people, like you said, they're comfortable. They're not even you're thinking too far. They've never even seriously thought about moving out. It may have come into mind you get in an argument with your parents or once in a while to think about it, but it's not something to even plan because it's like I'm just comfortable here. Like I'm chilling,
saving my money.
Yeah, I'm stacking, traveling the world, driving my Benz. Like I'm living a good life. So why would I even think about living by myself? Like for what? But let us know how you feel about this. Do you think there's an age, especially as a woman, no, even as a man, because we said men they supposed to be living by themselves. Do you think there's an age where you're supposed to be living by yourself? Like would you give it like an age like 25, 30? Like is there a certain age where you feel like a person should be living by themselves? Like, they should not like a maximum age. Let us know in the comment section. Is there a maximum age where you should not be living with your parents anymore? Like you need to be living by yourself, no matter if you're single, if you're married, you have a child, you don't have a child. Like is there an age that you feel as if every person should just be living by themselves? And let us know how you feel about it. Do you live by yourself? Do you want to move out? Do you live out? Have you moved out and trying to move back? Like do you think that's
the worst? That's the worst. I don't want to leave my mother's house.
It depends when you leave though. If you leave like at 22, you can come back at 25. You're still young, but like at this age, I can't be going back and forth. Like we gotta.
And just because I know my mom doesn't want me to leave, it'll be an insult. Like it'll
I
be
told
my pride. Is I don't want to. I told you.
People think it's easy.
I told you so. Look, you went there, you came back. Oh, you think it's easy to pay a bill? Go pay. Like I don't want that. Like I feel like I need to go when I'm really, really ready.
All right, so let us know how you feel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this
We'll
video.
talk to you later. Bye.
Bye bye.